Harlequin Special Releases and HarlequinAudio present Long Tall Texans, Blake, previously published as Boss Man by Diana Palmer. Performed by Todd McLaren. Dear listener, I can't believe that it has been so many years since my first Long Tall Texan book, Calhoun, debuted. The series was suggested by my former editor, Tara Gavin, who asked if I might like to set stories in a fictional town of my own design. Would I? And the rest is history. As the years went by, I found more and more sexy ranchers and cowboys to add to the collection. My readers, especially Amy, found time to gift me with a notebook listing every single one of them, wives and kids and connections to other families, in my own Texas town of Jacobsville. Eventually, the town got a little too big for me, so I added another smaller town called Comanche Wells and began to fill it up too. You can't imagine how much pleasure this series has given me. I continued to add to the population of Jacobs County, Texas, and I have no plans to stop. Ever. I hope all of you enjoy listening to the Long Tall Texans as much as I enjoy writing them. Thank you all for your kindness and loyalty and friendship. I am your biggest fan. Love, Diana Palmer. Blake. Chapter 1. Violet Hardy sat at her desk and wondered why she'd ever taken this secretarial job in the first place. Her boss, Jacobsville, Texas attorney Blake Kemp, didn't appreciate her at all. She'd only been trying to keep him from dying of a premature heart attack by changing his regular coffee to decaf. For her pains, she'd been on the receiving end of the worst insult she could ever imagine, and from the one man in the world she loved above all others. She knew her co-workers were as upset as she was. They'd been kindness itself. But nothing made up for the fact that Blake Kemp thought Violet was fat. She looked down at her voluptuous body in a purple dress with a high neckline, frilly bodice, and straight skirt, vaguely aware that the style did nothing for her. She would be wearing it today of all days, when Kemp gave her that disapproving scrutiny. Her mother had tried to tell her, gently, that frills and big bosoms didn't match. Worse, a tight-fitting skirt only emphasized those wide hips. She'd been trying so hard to lose weight. She'd given up sweets, joined a gym, and worked hard at cooking regular and weight-conscious meals for herself and her elderly mother, who had a heart condition. Her father had died the year before of an apparent heart attack. But just lately there were rumors that her co-worker, Libby Collins's stepmother, might be responsible for Mr. Hardy's sudden death. Janet Collins had been suspected of poisoning an elderly man in a nursing home, and she'd taken Mr. Hardy for quite a sum of money before he died, unexpectedly, just after being seen with her in a motel room. It had been too late for Mrs. Hardy to stop payment on the check because she didn't realize the money was missing until well after the funeral. Violet and her mother had been devastated, not only by his loss, but by the disastrous financial condition he'd left behind. They'd lost their nest egg, their home, their car, everything. The woman who'd convinced Mr. Hardy to give her $250,000 couldn't be positively identified, and she'd run up accounts in department stores and even jewelry stores, for which Mr. Hardy's estate was suddenly responsible. Her mother had had the first stroke just after the funeral. Violet's small, separate inheritance had been just enough to support them for a few months, but after it ran out, Violet had been forced to support them both. There had been a vacancy at Kemp's office, working with Libby Collins and Mabel Henry. Fortunately, Violet had taken a business course in spite of her father's disapproval. She'd never have to get a job, he'd said confidently. It was nice working in Kemp's office.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?